Okay, so in this video, we will look at how do you actually craft a good message. And we're going to take inspiration from a statement by Barbara Minto, the ex-McKinsey consultant who actually came up with the pyramid principle. Now, of course, we'll look at the pyramid principle later in a different module, but this is a statement that I think is really relevant for us, which is that messages should have scanning value. What does she mean by that? That means that if a reader is going through your slides or going through a report you have made, if they just scan through the key messages, they should be able to get what you're trying to say. What does that remind you of? What publication or what piece of content you actually quickly scan through? I'm sure many of you are thinking of newspapers. And what do you scan through in a newspaper? It's the headlines, right? So we can actually take inspiration from newspaper headlines of how do they craft those headlines such that people can quickly scan through, and if they want more detail, they go deeper. Now, when you actually consider newspaper headlines, there is a framework, a formula that they use. They call it, it's a very old one, they call it the 5 W's and 1 H of journalism. What are these? These are the 6 questions, which is who, did, what, when, where, why, and how. And ideally, your headline is supposed to kind of answer that. Of course, in these today's times, BuzzFeed, they don't bother with that. They just try and write something clickbaity so that they get your attention. But I'm talking about more old-fashioned journalism. Now, but this is actually not very relevant for data storytelling. For data storytelling, you're not really bothered about who and all of that. You have a certain different set of questions in mind and a certain different order. What are these questions? So these are the 7 key questions that a data story must answer, and this is the order in which it needs to be answered. So you can keep these 7 questions as a guideline to crafting your message. Let's take a simple example of a data story. Let's say there's an HR leader who needs to make a presentation on attrition at her company. So let's try and put down the questions. What is the first question you think that the person needs to answer? You might think, hey, attrition, right? Why is attrition happen? You want to know. The why will come, but it'll come later. The first question is, hey, what are we talking about here? What happened? Is the first thing that you'll try and answer. Some key metric went up or down, or is ranked higher, or is X percentage of a larger pie. And sometimes you may need to define why does that metric matter. So attrition, everybody knows why it matters. But maybe you're talking about some very esoteric metric, maybe average call handling time for a certain type of call. And then your audience will be like, okay, fine, that went down, but how does it really impact the bottom line? Sometimes you may have to connect some of these metrics to a core metric like revenue or cost or profit that the audience cares about. Okay, so what happened is question number 1. What next? How much did it happen? Okay, attrition happened in this company. How much was it? Okay, there was 15%, 16%, 12%, whatever that number is. And when you're defining that how much, you may have to give it some character, give it some comparison. We will talk a lot about comparison in one of the later videos in this module. But for now, you may have to give it some quantitative description that, attrition was X percentage or whatever. Sometimes you may also have to give it qualitative description. Qualitative means you have to describe, how bad was it? Can you use some adjectives? We mentioned about messages having adjectives. So I'm going to give you a set of adjectives that you can use depending upon, how intense the change is. So we will talk about something known as a comparison factor, and we'll talk about something known as the intensity of the change. Is it low, medium, or high? Depending upon whether it's, let's say you're comparing something over time. For a low intensity change, you could say there's a marginal increase, mild, it was slightly up. For a medium intensity, reasonable increase, steady, continued, consistent. For a high intensity, significant, strong, robust, impressive, remarkable, unparalleled, unprecedented. So some of these words can be used to make that message come out alive. Yeah, so I've just given you like a cheat sheet of these words. You can use that. You'll get it as a part of your course material. Right. So let's come back here. I said, what happened? Okay. How much did it happen? What next will you be trying to answer? You might say, okay, why did it happen? No, wait. Before the why, it's important to know when and where did this attrition happen. So when is of course straightforward, right? Which time period. The where is critical. What is the where answer? Which divisions did it happen in? Was it more in the Bombay office or the Bangalore office? Was it more amongst male employees, female employees, level 1, level 2, and so on? There are so many cuts and slices, right? That is what the where question is answering. It always comes before the why, because a where is just, cutting and slicing and dicing the data, which we all do. So that becomes question number 3 and 4. Question number 5, here's where we finally come to the why. Why did this attrition happen? So for example, you might say, hey, attrition happened in this company, and people will say, why did it happen? So sometimes you answer by saying, hey, it happened because it happened in the Bombay office. Now that is not a why answer, that's a where answer. It happened in the Bombay office. Why did it happen in the Bombay office? Maybe now you start getting into the reasons. Maybe because we had a new competitor opening up and they poached a lot of employees, or we changed our office location and that meant we a lot of people left because of the commute time, and so on. So that's your why. The next question is a very interesting counterintuitive one. Why not? What held it back? Every time when there's some metric which has moved up or down and there's been some movement, there are some factors which drive that metric and there are some factors which pull it back. You may also have to talk about those in your data story. So for example, let's say in that particular year or quarter, that company gave out the highest bonuses ever. Now, do you think that is a contributing factor to attrition? Clearly not. It's a detracting factor, where you might say something like, despite giving the highest bonuses ever, attrition still went up, or some such, right? And so I'm sure you'll find that for every metric that moves up or down, there are factors which propel it and there are factors which pull it back. And so the why not is chronicling the story of what pulled it back. Finally, once you have all of these, you may want to answer what next? What do I need to do about it? What is the recommendation that I'm going to give you as a data storyteller, right? So these are the 7 questions that you have to keep in mind. And of course, not all questions will be answered on one chart or one slide, but through your data story, ideally somewhere these need to be answered to the extent information is available. Yeah, so you can take this as a good guide. Now, in the next video, what we're going to do is to use an interesting technique to help you remember these 7 questions. We'll find out.